guys, welcome back to DBU. Wanted to take a moment and step you through the stone veneer application that we used in the drum room and in the bathroom. Because we knew we were putting a lot of weight to the walls, we really had to engineer or over-engineer the whole application process of this. So as you see in the photos here, we applied a moisture wrap called Tyvek, and that was to keep the moisture from the concrete and the stones from penetrating the drywall. From there, we screwed using fender washers and drywall screws, diamond lath, which is sharp, and everybody got their fingers cut trying to get this stuff out of the car and onto the wall. Once that was screwed to the wall, we applied a scratch coat of the concrete, and then once that had cured, we went through and sort of cut up the walls, and you can see how there's grooves cut into the cement. That was to allow us to put the final coat on, which basically consisted of dipping the bricks in a bucket of water for a couple of minutes, and then buttering the back with some of this cement, and then of course applying it to the wall. Worked out pretty well. Overall, it was a very laborious process. I think it took 4 or 5 days to get the whole room done. I, at one point, wanted to push this thing all the way up to the ceiling, but there was really a concern that the weight would be too much for the walls, especially in a seismic event. So we stopped it around a 10-foot mark. We did have to work around the windows. There was a lot of carving and stuff like that involved, as well as the bulkheads and the outlets and other features along the wall. It was a lot of work, but it paid off, and acoustically the room sounds incredible now because we have this slightly porous stone that does a really good job of redirecting high frequency and mid-range energy. So on one side of the wall we've got this beautiful woodwork, and then of course on the other side we have this stone that is very irregular and pretty random, and it does a really good job of dispersing the sound in the room, especially when you start smashing drums. It has a really great tone to it. You know, the real downside of this, and you can tell from the footage, is it was a giant mess. We were sucking concrete dust out of the studio for weeks because it just was everywhere. But eventually we worked our way past it. One of the downsides of being enthusiastic as the guy who did the work here, he got a little too ahead of himself in several spots. He actually walled over fixtures and outlets, so we ended up having to come back, relocate those things, and cut holes in the walls. I was so happy with his work, though, that we actually went into the vocal booth and did the same thing. Of course, the drum room really pops now, especially when you see how the brick is laid out on the walls with the light. In the bathroom, it was a similar situation. I wanted a stone thing. We had this veneer. We ended up using glue instead of cement and diamond lath in here, and it's held pretty well. Unfortunately, we had to demo a lot of this work recently due to the water damage from the air conditioning, but we're since finished with the bathroom, and we've actually redone the floor so that now it's a variety of different tiles in the bathroom. So it's going to make for great bathroom singing in the event we actually decide to do that. Well, thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you.